So, every first and second Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock at Churchill's, the Creative Art Alliance gets together.
Just don't worry about it.
And you should come because it is a great thing. All right, up next we got Jeff, who can do a lot better job than I can.
No. Well, but you are going to play at least a couple more songs, right?
yeah.
A couple few, yeah, okay.
All right.
So sometime tonight,
You'll be fine.
like maybe after he goes, because in that way there'd be like a writer and then a musician, you know what I mean?
Ask for announcements.
Okay, definitely.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. I'm just going to read a couple things out of a book that I'm working on right now. It's titled Estranged Union.
This is a new one, a second one?
This is a new one. It's not published yet. I'm hoping to have it out maybe in about a year from now or so.
What's the name of the other book you have?
The Reflection of Elias Dumont is the novel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
This is a Haibun. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a Japanese travel journal. Basically, and what they've been doing it for thousands of years. They travel around Japan, the poets do. They go on basically a walkabout, and they write a journal, and then they base poems off those journal entries. So I did this actually while I was working in the automotive industry. As I traveled around Michigan, I kept this journal, and it ended up chronicling the downfall of the automotive industry, basically. So it has some, I think, historical significance. But I'll put my glasses on so I can actually read. All right, this is from January 9th, 2009. The week had been uneventful. General Motors had received their loan money, their cushion into a controlled bankruptcy, and had already forecasted that 2009 would be the worst than they predicted, and that they would likely need more loans. That was predictable. I spent most of Friday working to complete my updated presentation for a plant manager, Dave Tapman. 3F had asked me to update the PowerPoint show just in case Dave wanted it presented while I was off on my second jaunt of unemployment. This, of course, meant that Fred was planning to do my presentation while I was gone. Another predictable move. The haiku based off this. The mice are harmless. It is the rats you have to keep an eye out for. I ended up leaving that day. The cold outside was the kind of cold that needled its way into your bones. I did my best to curl myself up, hands plunged into deep pockets, shoulders hunched as I walked to my car. I felt my nostrils cling together for a moment as I inhaled the frigid air. Strangely, as I walked towards my truck, I wished General Motors would just get it over with. Stop pussyfooting about. I wish the plant would close. And this is the poem that I based off in that entry. It's called Quietly We'll Go. I feel the jagged flakes of rust in my cells, oxidizing like all the parts around me that crumble to a powder in my fingers. There's a scrap tag that's been twist-tied to my toe. Old racks in the yard carry the same burden. So now we wait for the hauling day to come. Which indiscriminate soul weighed our value, marked our brittle lot for the heap and furnace? What Norn stretched our rusty line taut for the shears? I feel its cold, sharp edge running down my coil, each heartbeat letting its red-brown pollution out to further stain the angry earth below. Mother looks for blame, points with the wind and dust, and in the vacant lot we find Durant's wraith, wandering confused, lost as we are, and so quietly we'll go. corroded tongues frozen as the tired gate creaks open for the last time. We will leave these carbonized footprints behind. I'll read one more entry in a poem based off that. This was from November 30th of 2010. The Quench Press. The name of it says it all. I am back at the Ford Sterling Axle plant. They have me working the roof with Nick, a 37-year-old veteran of the automotive industry, a man proud that he has spent his whole life at Ford, a man who, despite his gray-white goatee, could pass for Robert De Niro. It is raining, and the cold is numbing. We scuff along the tar and rock and standing water of the roof, but I am thinking of the Quench Press. The Quench Press where yesterday, in a moment's misjudgment, a man lost his finger. The haiku from that is, his severed digit was lost in a vat of oil, claimed by the Quench Press. They did end up finding his finger several days later at the bottom of a 5-gallon drum. So. Nick says that Ford has the highest fatality rate in the industry. They're cracking down on safety, especially with this latest incident, he says. What do you expect, though? We work in a factory. This kind of shit happens. It brought to mind my days at GM, Flint Metal Center, and the supervisor, Bob, with 2 missing fingers, and then it brought to mind their plant's urban legend, which is the poem, The Man Killer. Right. There's a grim lore that haunts the plant about a drunkard's death on the C1 line. No one deserves it, they tell, but he was in the wrong place. 20,000 pounds can, well, change a man, respectfully, into whatever it deems fit. In this case, the hood of a Chevy. Flecks of bone, jellied flesh, and that gray matter, which had went momentarily unused, found itself tightly compressed in the die. What drove him into that open mouth of solid steel? 2 finely tooled jaws, engineered to shear and spit a million clones out the other end. Surely he had gone in 100 times before. Support bars resting on the column post, safety lock dangling from his jeans. Tempting Newton and Murphy, pushing their buttons. Provoking them to finally exercise their laws with a thunderous clap and a moment of silence. Operator error, they tell. His memory stamped repeatedly into unionized nerves. For the man killer still shakes the floor.
Wow.